Good evening, gamers, and welcome to Capping Television. This is the ozfortress Season 29 Intermediate Semi-Final. My name is, I'll go with Snazzy this week. And with me tonight, I have Glugnuts. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing very well, Snazzy. How are you?
Oh, I'm bloody well. And we also have a third person on the mic, Ghost, who I believe is here as well. I think he might be muted for the minute. That's all right. We'll throw it to him in a bit. So this is the match. This is the semi-final between Pogjuice Aficionados and Garden Warfare. Mate,
I
this is
was
going to be good.
I had CappingTV streamer. I don't want to get any muted copyright stuff, whatever their rules are anyway. That's why I was
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, Ghost, I know that you have a bit of insider info about this one because I know that you've been hanging around with the Garden Warfare fellas.
Yes,
what with being on the roster.
I sub for them, and then also occasionally we'll sit and their scrims and officials watching STV and stuff. But no, the guys are pretty chill going to this. They're pretty calm. They did a pre-game scrim against the first seed team, being Artix Entertainment, and did alright against them. But I think this will be a close game for this official, obvious. But I think favorites going to it. Everyone's going to look at Pogjuice saying, "Hey, that's the favorites," and it's definitely just going to be a rematch of the upper page playoff round one for obviously the season. And speaking of rosters for Garden Warfare, I'm going to quickly run through it now. So for the side of Garden Warfare, we have and Aino as the scouts. We have Undrex and Instinct as your soldiers, Cobra Demo and Reina Medic. The calling is done mostly by Undrex, and occasionally it's just like your sort of secondary caller. And I guess if you want to quickly do boost, Snazzy or Luggnuts.
I might let Luggnuts take that one. I know he has a tenuous connection to that team.
Despite not being able to pronounce the second word in their name, I do have, quite a big fondness for Pogjuice. They're the favourites not just in my mind, but in my heart for this game. They've helped my team quite a lot this season, being the only ones to scrim us. So, yeah. For Scout, they're going to have TG and Montgomery Wigglesworth. For Soldiers, they're going to have Cake and Lizard Wizard. Lizard Wizard, I believe, on Roma, and Cake on Pocket. Frydog on Demoman, and Ravu4 on Medic.
Nice. Yeah, I think definitely on paper, you look at Pogjuice's roster and you think they're the favorites to win. I mean, they have two incredibly good soldiers being Lizard Wizard and Cake. Obviously, Frydog being Nedmo, who does a lot of work for them. But one thing that I've noticed from the team is that if they lose their soldiers, they sort of don't know what to do. Is something I've noticed for this team specifically. From officials or just watching scrims and stuff occasionally from obviously Garden Warfare scrimming them every now and then. But anyways,
why don't we talk about the map bans?
Yeah.
Just while these picks are still coming through, so we can see that Pogjuice took out Villa, Snake, and Granary, and Garden Warfare took out Gully and Product. Do you know anything about these bans?
So the Villa ban is understandable. Garden Warfare we're actually alright on Villa. We did pretty well. It was a close against the first seed team during regular season, but we did 5-0 obviously the Highlander team. I think last week, yeah, and it's understandable. The Gully ban coming through from Garden Warfare is understandable. It is our insta ban. It's a veto. It's a map that we hate. We don't want to play. Basically, that's it. And then obviously Snakewater coming out of Ravu side, not entirely sure, but it might be because they're not comfortable. I can't obviously answer that. And Product is understandable because we struggled heavily against Pogjuice's double soldiers. They're just going behind and then we just get crunched and we just had no to it. And then speaking of that, first map picks have come out. So for the side of Ravu4, Pogjuice, they've picked up the Granary. Now this is probably a surprise pick actually, because they probably had a look at logs. We were playing Granary before Warfare against the first team, and we were struggling. And it's probably because you've only played it once during, I think, first week regulation, and that's it. Obviously, second map Reckon coming out, which is understandable because we obviously scrimmed that as well pre-game, and we felt really comfortable on it. However, going into this official, at the side of Pogjuice, scrimmed it a lot, being I don't know how many times, like 9, 10 times, I think. However, even though it was all losses, well, obviously just versing Mercs because, everyone else is not, and there's no one else to verse. We're just waiting on for the final map, which I'm looking at either a process or sunshine. And I think I'm not missing any maps, am I? I think I am, right?
Not off the top of my head.
I don't think I'm missing any.
If I'm correct, I'm probably leaning a bit closer to a sunshine pick, maybe. Although, of course, Pogjuice has reason not to have too good memories on Process. But apart from that, I'm actually not too sure whose map pick it is.
No, it's Pogjuice's.
Pogjuice.
So they get the last map pick, which is beneficial, I guess, if you're a high seed. But either way, it doesn't matter. Unless you're the winner in this map, it's fine. I mean, the game. So, still waiting for that last pick. But while we wait,
let's talk. So we know that Pogjuice is pretty strong on the soldiers. We know the Garden Warfare has a fairly strong scout combo, and their demo man is definitely something to keep an eye on. So with Pogjuice taking Granary, that makes sense to me personally, because I consider that to be a map where soldiers can really sort of have a pretty good run of things. But then scouts are also pretty powerful. So how would you guys see that coming through? Ghost, you got anything?
Might be a Sunshine last. I'm not sure, actually. We're on Sunshine now. But anyway, no. For Pogjuice, their soldiers in Granary, I think, is a smart choice for them. Obviously, Frydog walks forward, does his damage, soldiers do a corner double bomb, easy mid, basically. And then, I guess, they probably had a peek at the logs or something, I guess, at Garden Warfare, and probably saw that they did a pre-game scrim and it didn't go well. So I guess picking Granary is definitely a smart idea. And also, it's a map, I guess both teams probably expected, not gonna lie. I was talking to the guys and they were deciding whether to pick Granary or obviously Rekna. And obviously from that pre-game scrim, Granary didn't go too well, so we just went on with Rekna. But I think seeing Granary picked, obviously just expected. And it's going to be a tough match for the start of Garden Warfare. We haven't played it a lot. They've only played it during the week official, and that's about it. And also in general, just coming into this official, they haven't had much practice. Being just today was the only practice day. Otherwise, every other day, everyone's obviously been busy with real life stuff. That's how I look at it.
Makes sense. So, have you got any thoughts on this one, Lugnuts? I know that you're definitely a bit more biased towards Pogjuice.
Yeah, I definitely have to say I am, but I think that maybe part of the Granary pick, like Ghost said, will be that confidence in the demo man, Frydog is a decently impactful player on their team, Of course, Lizard Wizard often steals the show, but yeah, Frydog is definitely pretty confident, and I reckon they'll be pretty confident in how he'll match up against Cobra. And the Granary pick pretty much shows that, in my opinion, as Granary is one of the better demo man maps, I think, that they could have chosen.
It's just a great map, is my main opinion. I love Granary. It's
I don't know why everyone
objectively
hates
the best map.
I absolutely agree, but every time I bring it up, everyone, says that I'm just wrong, but yeah.
So then, following up on those two fairly, close maps, if you know what I mean, each point is kind of its own area, and, you can fight through that point, but then you're going to be caught at some sort of choke. I would imagine probably Sunshine would be the pick here if they're going to follow along those lines.
Process, actually, just to cut you off. So I guess, yeah, we're looking at Process to Sunshine, so I guess either worked. But yeah, Process is coming as our last map pick. And that's understandable for Pogjuice. They've scrimmed it a lot. I've seen logs. They've scrimmed it a fair bit against Merc teams and such. But obviously, Garden Warfare, they just haven't scrimmed it at all.
You see, if Garden Warfare was watching their demos and paying attention to the streams, then, they'd have a Roma practicing a bit of the beggars rollout on Process to prepare for this. Because I'm sure Ravi wouldn't, just the psychological damage of having to face that again would be pretty significant. But I guess it does make sense choosing Process over Sunshine, as Sunshine is known as a really strong scout map and also pretty decent for the sniper, where I know that Pogjuice, I don't really feel they don't really have a sniper that they pull out quite often.
No,
And
not really.
while they do have pretty good scouts, their main confidence is in their soldiers, is in their demo, their heavy classes.
And then for the side of Garden Warfare, they have players who can pull out that sniper, and obviously they have incredibly good scouts being Smazzer and Ano. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. But one thing for sure is as well, I don't think the favorites obviously is Pogjuice, logically speaking. Like you see it, Pogjuice should win this match, whether it be 2-0, 2-1, regardless. But I think Warfare should just come into this game with no pressure at all. They have no pressure on their shoulders. So lose. I feel like they could just do whatever they want. So literally just tell Smazzer, go kill. You know, they just run chaos on them, sort of thing. Because win or lose, Garden Warfare should still be happy. You know, placement medal, third place, cool. That's nice. But obviously, you get into grand final, that's even better. But yeah, I think in general, Garden Warfare, this official in general, they should have no pressure on their shoulders. Pogjuice should beat them, and obviously cause that rematch in that upper page. You know, the grand final, I should say.
If I was Garden Warfare here, though, I would be pretty anxious to win, especially because I think we were discussing this a little bit at the end of the last game I played against them, the 4th place match, and they said that they were relatively confident against Arctic's Entertainment, and I think you mentioned this earlier, saying scrim results were favouring them against Arctic's. Of course, saying that it was a bit of a rock, paper, scissors between the top 3 teams. So while Pogjuice is more expected to win this, if Garden Warfare can pull an upset and get this match done, then they have a pretty decent chance at taking first place.
I think if they need to win, they need. Taking Granary is definitely a good start. I think Garden Warfare, and then obviously now you got Rekner, which is your pick, and it's your comfort pick. So you get Rekner, you get Granary 2-0, you're to the grand final. But obviously, if you don't get your Granary, you get Rekner, but then you have to play Press as a decider. That's where it becomes a challenge.
One good thing with Garden Warfare, at least on Process, that Process is a pretty decent scout map, and they do have very good scouts. So even though it doesn't favour them as well as Sunshine, I have to imagine they must be pretty happy with their bans coming into this.
Yeah, both teams are definitely happy. Like maps everyone can play, and obviously, because even if you don't play in a team, you play it every day and maybe pugs and stuff. If you obviously, play pugs.
I don't know just how much pugging maybe some of the members on both these teams get up onto, but I can't imagine Reckoner comes up, or Granary to be often.
No, Granary does actually. Reckoner is very rare.
Right.
But we're just waiting for players to join server. Snazzy, do you have anything you want to add maybe to our discussion here?
Honestly, unfortunately, I think you guys have covered it a bit too well for me to really say anything. So I just got to sit here on my hands and just wait for some play-by-play to happen so I can start yapping.
Do you want to get a coffee maybe, or water?
I'm not going to lie, I thought he'd already gone off to the bar or something and we were just sitting here talking to each other with him not here, so...
well, you'd be used to that, wouldn't you, Lug?
Still hold that 2nd place badge.
I think you guys have covered this fairly well.
Yeah.
Granary is going to be pretty hard for me to sort of call early because you've got gamers like TG who have been around for forever and a day, and they're definitely that sort of knowledge of Granary is definitely something that can be used to their advantage. But like we were saying, I mean, the Demo Man's super powerful on that team. Cobra's nothing to sneeze at either. Definitely showing up some very good results over time. Cobra has been, especially recently, he's sort of really come into his own.
He's
and
up,
then with the scouts and the soldiers going on both teams, even it's actually really hard to call. And I mean, sure, Pogjuice should take this on paper. I don't really want to sleep on Garden Warfare here. Maybe it's just because they got Plants vs Zombies memes going wild. But
look, I don't know about that, but it's going to be back and forth. You have to say that at least, correct, Snazzy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to be a very even game, which is going to be unfortunate for me because that means I'm here for at least an hour and a half in my mind.
Well, good. At least you don't have any plans for tomorrow, so that you can stay as long as you want. Anyway, we're obviously just waiting for players now to join server, and I think might be a few tech issues happening. Rainer does a bit of high ping, but obviously yet to see what happens. But I also Granary as well regarding us is I think seeing snipers and stuff come out is Granary. There are some alright sight lines, but But again, I think off-classing games for the side of Pulse. I guess you want to. I'd probably see G or Monty probably do it, and then obviously for the side of Garden Warfare, you'd see Smazza and Ano do it, and Smazza as well on that spy is pretty good because he actually plays are pretty nutty, I have to say.
Given how effective Sniper has been in certain matchups this season and how little Pogjuice has run it, I'm not too sure if we'll actually be able to see too much of it, even though, you know, they don't seem to be too adverse to it pre-game. But yeah, I'm sort of expecting this one to go a little bit slowly, you know? I mean, Granary isn't, I don't think, too often a very massive role. I don't think you often see a load of rounds coming out because this one can be slowed down pretty easily. So predicting like a relatively close score here, maybe 3-1, 4-2, something like that. And that does give chances to see some more off classes, you know. But I think given that would favour Garden Warfare a little bit.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that one. I don't know. I think the slow of this map really could. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of a broken record. I just keep saying the same thing. It really could go either way because both of these teams definitely had the ability to play slow games. I know it was like basically a 5-0 roll every time Sulfury played a game, but I could feel it, you know? I could feel it.
Well, quickly, I guess we should just run through predictions. So if you want to quickly start off Lugnnuts.
Yeah, I think I'll say again that I'm thinking something similar to 3-1 scoreline here to Pogjuice is what I'd come to expect.
Snazzy?
4-4 followed by Golden Cap, where I think Garden Warfare might take it.
And I will be doing the same with as a Golden Cap or close scoreline. I'm thinking 3-2 Garden Warfare favor. And we do have all 6 players. We're just waiting for obviously ready up and obviously classes to be sorted. But yeah, I think there's not much else to really add besides we just have to wait for the official to start.
Classic Team Fortress. It's now 18 minutes past the the aimed time to begin. We must remember, of course, STV being 90 seconds behind.
Yeah, 90 seconds.
Yeah. Jeez, look at that. Still on the top of my head, man.
Light savings, day 18 here in Brisbane. It's all good. It's still early in our hours.
Of course, I thought I'd stop seeing this once, you know, the Highlander game stopped, but, you know, clearly it's just continuing on.
I'm going to leave that one right where it stands, Lugnnuts.
I will
don't
say,
give it the dignity of a response.
Every single one of my games and Highlander games have always started on time, and if you say any differently, then you're just writing bad history. So
it's fake news.
Exactly.
I'm actually pretty excited for this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
anyone able to? Sorry.
I think these mids we should just keep an eye on. I think we should just see what Pogjuice soldiers do. Because obviously, you know, they're the main, I guess, combo and also the main driving force for the side of Pogjuice, obviously. It's the same thing if we look at Garden Warfare, let's keep an eye on Smazza and probably Cobra, I think, are the 2 key players.
I think I definitely agree with that. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on these ones. I'm not sure who I'm going to keep the strongest eye upon, but you know, I just try to keep them open, man. Polish these glasses up and see what's going on.
You do, in fact, have 2 eyes, Snazzy, so hopefully you can keep an eye on 2 players at once. You also have 2 monitors.
We do have a ready up the way, so good luck, have fun. Over to you.
Unfortunately, I'm not an Apache pilot, so I can't control both eyes individually. But, like Ghost said, we are going live. This is the ozfortress Season 29 Intermediate Semi-Final. Winner takes the Grand Final. And coming into this, we see Cobra and Frydog get there at roughly the same time. They both get a sticky off on each other. No major advantages won yet for either team. Both teams coming through their DC. We see both of the soldiers in with a big bomb onto DC, taking themselves out. Frydog coming through with a frag onto Instinct, but nothing really going on. It's looking really strong for Garden Warfare here as they clean up the medic. Almost, yes. On the way out, Frydog, the only player left alive. He's stuck behind. He actually cleans up the medic, which is a huge frag for his team here. He'll probably want to be dying fairly soon, I'd imagine, and he does go down. That's a fairly interesting mid, don't you think?
Definitely. I think that 2 soldier bomb from Pogjuice did quite a lot of work, shoving them into the death corner, doing a lot of damage. Really close to picking up Reyna, just didn't get him out. He survived on a sliver HP, which I think kind of swung the mid back in the favour of Garden Warfare. But Frydog getting the medic there right at the end is going to equalise things up and make them look really good for this last hold.
Yeah, and they don't even really have to worry about Frydog's spawn being too long to have him there at second, because he is actually there already. Bit of poking going on the flank, but nothing really to speak of. With even Ubers here, how would you push this, do you think?
Well, I probably wouldn't try to be getting as aggressive as Pogjuice are getting right now. They're trying to shove them out of yard with even Ubers. They don't even have that Uber charge yet. But they have done pretty successfully pushing out a Z there. Quite risky, because of how tight that choke is. But yeah, altogether seems to have favoured their aggressive play.
They definitely seem to know that they had like a tiny little advantage, and with the player missing on the side of Garden Warfare there, they were able to push that. And they have cleaned up a soldier as they come into second here. Instinct going for a pretty solid fourth. Very nearly got it, not quite enough. We do see the Ubers coming out. Big trade in yard here. TG taking a fat solo. No real frags happening though, unfortunately. Just nothing he could really connect with. And we do see them backing out back into the garage area there. Kate getting pretty flagged on the flank, but he's come away alive. So we're back to just another reset.
Yeah, really interesting there. They just really kept the momentum going, and as soon as they got that pick, they were ready to go in and trade. Expecting to have that little bit of ad, which they did try to use there. Obviously didn't go out too well for them, but they will have that small bit of ad again because they did use Forest. So we'll see if they, again, try anything off it, or if they're just getting ready for the stalemate.
I'm a big advocate on this map of actually trading even Ubers and then grinding like crazy, because you can see that they've gained about a 10-15% ad, which if they manage to get themselves in a position to use, I mean, that's really clean. We actually see Lizard Wizard coming through nice and early, a big bomb onto Reyna. He gets cleaned up, both the scouts there ready to catch him. Cake taking a lot of damage in the garage as well. You do see one of the scouts come all the way through. He does have to actually back out a little bit, but the Ubers are both being traded. This is not looking super good for Pogjuice Aficionados. They're actually getting wrapped around pretty hard here. We see their med caught in the middle area. Bit of fragging going on either way, but it looks like Garden Warfare have taken that high ground and they're just able to say, hey, look, my mid now.
Yeah, really good decision making from Garden Warfare there. I think once Lizard came in for the sack and he died, they saw that as a pretty big opportunity, as he is one of the big players on their team, and use it as the opportunity to take that Uber trade. And like you said, they did get quite a lot of work done with it.
Yeah, we did actually see a 4-man sack, it looks like, out of Pogjuice there, trying to sort of like return that mid to their grasp. Definitely good timing, just nothing really able to connect. Really good defense out of Garden Warfare there, and that's going to be a free second for them.
Yeah, I mean, the defense from Garden Warfare, preventing even that 4-man sack through on their medic, is just getting them so much. It's now won them 2 pushes, so, if they just keep this going, keep playing methodically, instead of the more aggressive style of Pogjuice, just trying to catch out their mistakes, then, they might even just be able to take this to the last without making any sort of major plays.
Yeah, they are a little bit of a disc here, but there was nothing that Pogjuice was really able to do with it. Kind of committing to a bit of a slower play style we've been seeing from them so far. So it is just a reset, even Ubers. I mean, I think we're going to be waiting a while. We don't see too much tricking going on from the soldiers here. There might be a Lizard sack in the work, but I would be amazed.
They are potentially catching out a scout in Lunchbox, and they have a pretty good play between Lizard Wizard and Monty there. And yeah, we'll see what they get out of the space.
Yeah, Lizard actually getting in pretty deep. He takes the damage though, so I don't think he's going to be able to achieve very much. The Ubers have been used on the other side of yard though. While I'm talking, TG taking another fat solo. Not really able to connect with much, but the Uber does come out from the other team. And now it's looking pretty good for Pogjuice here. They've taken out 2 players, caked him behind. Eli taking him down, and Lizard Wizard coming through. Frydog with his big sticky, just cleaning games up left, right, and center. Frydog with some fat pipes right on the end there, giving a scout, releasing a dub, and that's going to be a pretty good push out of them.
Yeah, Frydog's going to be feeling pretty happy with himself going in there. Hopefully turns that into some momentum. Pogjuice has been really comfortable with taking trades as soon as they get a pick. going into this map. That's now the second or third time that they've done it. So yeah, just going to look to see that more consistently going forward, see if they get any more opportunities out of it.
Yeah, we did actually see that they attempted to push through Garage there, but Cobra just absolutely shutting that down. He got pipes and stickies all over everyone as they tried to get through. I do believe their med went down to like 10 health or something like that.
Balls of steel confirmed.
Yeah, but they have used their Uber straight on through that garage area. They lose one of their scouts in the middle of the Uber to a trap though. Cobra shutting it down as they came into the second area there. And now with about a 60 to 70% Uber this ad, they're definitely going to be very, very careful.
Yeah, Kai running Sniper there is, that off-class potential that we did talk about before the game, and that did allow them to get the really early force out of Pogjuice. But, I mean, going into this right now, it looks like the behind play from Cake has been pretty effective. Yeah,
Cake hiding on that little bit just above forward spawn there, managing to clean up Reina and Smazza just like unseen. He was able to just jump straight onto them. We do see Undrex and his other soldier partner sort of hiding in the second area. Undrex getting some spam rockets off, but he's probably going to die for his efforts here. He does get a lot of damage off though. You see the rest of his team there really kind of ready and eager to clean up. And they actually clean up Frydog as well, which is a big frag. And it's going to push them straight back out into the yard area. I think once they get Frydog up, they'd be pushing this though, right?
Yeah,
I've lied. They're actually pushing straight on through. They've done a big solo straight through the doors, cleaned up one soldier, but they did lose Cake on the flank to a pretty poppin' trap from Cobra once again. And that's probably going to be a reset with a bit of a disad.
Yeah, unfortunately. These guys are actually just playing so fast. Every time I open my mouth, something interesting and new happens, have to do the double play-by-play. But no, it seems like, they're looking to just play super aggressively in here. Has worked to get them to second, when it's not getting them pushed to their own second. But I think probably a little bit more caution would serve them here. They do have time to just wait for those players to come up and such. They don't need to be, trying to get forward too hard when they've lost players.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. We actually see that Garden Warfare pushed out on that far side. They're wrapping around the Gary area now. They don't have that much out to play with, really only about 20%. Cobra got down very, very low as well, but they had just taken Yard more or less for free. No frags going either way. Frydog down very low though, so he's not going to be able to do very much coming into this one. He has gotten a bow. He's ready to go at Gary's side now. I think it's just a reset. Ground lost. But losing ground to regain Uber Evens, I think you're happy, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of the things with this map, is that the second point is sort of separated into two main areas, the yard and the point itself. And just there, they used their Uber advantage to bully them out of yard and took yard, but didn't actually get any point off it. Meanwhile, on another map, that would get them the midpoint pretty easily.
So a bit of a failed sack, I suppose, from Lizard Wizard, trying to bully himself in on the flank there. Just caught out by some stickies and some spam rockets. So that's going to give their ability to push here, but we're not seeing any sort of counter sack so far, it doesn't look like. I have lied, there is a soldier coming straight east. He gets caught on the lamppost and he does get frapped. Now, they're going to have player out here. It's one player out, and we've seen that they've been fairly aggressive so far.
I'm actually surprised that Garden Warfare didn't try to take a trade off the Lizard Wizard ad they had, like they did before, because that did work really well for them, just taking the trade when Lizard Wizard's dead. But I mean, hey, just by holding on, not really doing anything too much, they've now got 2 soldier advantage.
Yeah, Cake sort of left high and dry there as like the push got like aborted halfway through, and Lizard Wizard just getting caught out by some smart damage from Garden Warfare. Looks like they're going to be able to take this mid more or less for free. Don't like the odds of trading. Yeah, they're back now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they don't think Pogjuice has been too interested in trading that Uber unless they have a player advantage. And I think that's really what they should continue on. If they have the player advantage, be happy to trade. If they don't, they can just give up a little bit of ground. This map has so much ground to give up without getting any points capped, so they should be really comfortable with that.
Yeah, it's definitely a map where you can get away with sort of, I guess, more like intelligent players trying to like, okay, we'll give you this ground, but we've still got this sort of advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not at this stage, but perhaps in the future I'd like to see a bit more kind of rap-like behind plays from Pogjuice, because this map is a map where, you can do a lot of raps, you can do some back caps, it's got some really interesting things that you can do apart from just pushing straight into them. And a team like Pogjuice that likes to play really aggressively can definitely make something like that work. However, I think for the moment, where they're just playing a pretty standard trade and sack style of gameplay, nothing too crazy needs to be done at this moment.
We did see a sack and counter sack from Instinct and Cake in that order. Instinct going down, not really able to achieve very much with it. He has come up on Spy though, which is pretty good. I love Spy on this map because there's so many ways that you can get through and so many ways that you can get behind and sort of collect your thoughts before you go in.
Speaking like a Spy man, Snazzy, but that can't be true. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't be in the mumble with you. But no, this is part of the off-class potential of Garden Warfare that they are pulling out against Pogjuice. Pogjuice not really having too many people comfortable going on to those off-class, I feel, compared to Garden Warfare. And we'll see if the Spy can really get anything that can make a lot of space with them.
Yeah, very good timing from a frag out of Cobra. The Spy is behind me. He hasn't actually decloaked just yet. He's gotten far enough back to decloak, but he did get seen by Frydog. It looks like he's managed to get himself back into the shadow. The med running very, very close to him. It's a big, big fight. In the meantime, coming through, Eli missing a stab. He does end up getting the Uber force though, with the team using straight on through as well. But solo, nothing really going on though. We do see TG getting very, very aggressive to the garage area. Monty taking that top area as well. A lot of players coming through in this middle area. They've only killed one player, the Demo Man, but they have lost two for it. Both of their scouts down, not what you want to see. K taking out Undrix though, that's definitely a good frag. Lizard taking a lot of the attention as well. And it looks like it's going to be too much scrappy for them. They're going to have to back out 3 players down.
Yeah, I appreciate the play out of Pogjuice there. When the Spy did go down, they weren't due betrayed. That's a pretty favourable position for them, given how the map's been going. And then they did get the Demo Man, which would allow them to play. Oh my goodness! Well, Frydog just decided to cut me off with a 2-frag, if I believe I'm correct, with the same pipe.
He just absolutely drilled both of the scouts they were pushing with double scout out, and Frydog just went, yeah, look, you know what? Don't worry about it, guys.
Well, I'm sitting there analysing the gameplay, and I wonder what's the best way they can handle this, and Frydog's like, yeah, screw with this tactical gameplay crap, If I just hit pipes on them, then we win the game, right?
And we do see them having wrapped around behind with the Uber here. They get the force out very, very early. They do lose one of their scouts for it. They're going to be able to reconnect with Frydog here in the middle of this Uber. It's looking so good for them. They've cleaned up Smazza and Cobra nice and Rainer about to go down. But it's not looking super clean anymore. Salvation, or whatever their fake Nick Med's name is, going down in the middle of the one. Kate came in to try and save him, but just not quite enough. It was so good, and then it was so bad.
Yeah, I mean, looks like Frydog can, in fact, hit too many pipes with that last pipe of his, killing himself, so, yeah. But, I mean, he did kill the medic with it, so it is going to be roughly even Ubers here, just a little bit of munch ad for Rainer, but, yeah, nothing that can really be pushed off.
Yeah, man. I apologize for not recognizing that move, by the way. I was reading the technique and I was like, whatever, Salvation.
A different profile picture as well, you can
yeah, I know,
confusing.
exactly. But yeah, definitely crushing for them there. This 20% ad is definitely pushable as well out of Garden Warfare. They've so far wasted about half of the map time up, so I might have been incorrect in my 4-4 call earlier, but time will tell.
Looks like I was more correct in my slow game prediction than even I was aware of. Looks like I might not even get to see something like 3-1. I mean, this could be a 1-all, 1-0 type game here with 15 minutes left. This Uber ad isn't going to be doing too much for the side of Garden Warfare because it started out a lot smaller. They probably didn't really know that Pogjuice wasn't building it as well as they could have been. So yeah, just opting to stay for the stalemate.
I mean, stalemates have been working out pretty well for the team here. They're definitely taking some trades. We do actually see Frydog getting a critical frag on the Cobra, and Lizard Wizard almost ready to sack through the corner. We actually see that Garden Warfare have used their Uber. They got the force out of the other team, Pogjuice here, but it's definitely not looking great for Garden Warfare. They've lost 3 players. Quick sticks, Rainer going down as well. You see Rabu going down very low. He gets away with it though. The scout came to him and just couldn't quite connect everything.
Yeah, Lizard was picking up the 3k there. Got to feel good, but I mean, They have been doing pretty decently at cleaning up these scouts, but every single time Smazza gets near the medic, his HB just disappears. So, I mean, that could be pretty scary for them. They might not want to really get too close to them. Maybe just on a map that better utilize the scouts, that can definitely work out better for gun warfare.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Pogjuice is doing the classic strat here, where you try to bait them into second when you have a huge ad. Because if you can do that, then you've got a flask. You frag like 4 players.
I'm not gonna lie. Right, I just thought the classic strat was pushing a heavy through the top pipe, you know?
It's definitely another strategy. We do actually see that Pogjuice are ready to pull up before they even cap 2. There is a soldier in that 2 area who gets a big rocket onto Ravu. Force comes out. It's not super good for them anymore. They do take down a sentry gun that was only level 1, but they've taken that pipe area. They've got Lizard in nice and deep. He gets a big rocket on a Cobra going down as well. Frydog with big pipes straight across the mid. They have full control of the point, and they've cleaned up the round. That is 1-0 to Pogjuice.
Yeah, really good control of height for that last push, and really good push into that second, making sure that no one really got onto the medic. Unfortunately, that's all just near the end, but by that stage, they had the caps going, they were in position, they were ready to push anyway, and they really quickly took position, took down that sentry gun, and just made a really clean last push.
Absolutely. Both demos getting here to the second mid of the game with 12 minutes remaining, roughly the same time. Really good control of the game so far from Pogjuice. Lizard with a big bomb. He comes in nice and deep, gets big damage on a brain, takes him out. Cake taking out Cobra as well. Frydog coming through with the frag at his own. Smash taking out Cake though, but he does die for it. It's only 1 scout and soldier left for Garden Warfare here, but with no scouts left side of Pogjuice, they're kind of in some grief. Lizard is taking a duel here with the scout. He does actually manage to connect his rock, find that win for his team.
If there's any player, apart from Frydog, that you'd want sitting there with the medic just for that last fight, it is Lizard Wizard, as proven by the amount of rockets he did connect. Frydog doing a get down Mr. President, saving Ravu's life with his own. So, you know, that's going to feel pretty crushing for any offensive soldiers, just getting that perfectly aimed rocket and having the demo man just jump right in front of it. But hey, getting the demo frag anyway in that position is pretty decent for them. They're not going to be able to really roll this forward too much just by getting the mid.
Yeah, and it's good to see that all the hype around Frydog has, like, you know, egoed his brain to the point of no return. Because he's still taking those rockets for his mate. He knows the place. It's good. And we do see that Pogjuice are actually pushing straight through. They clean up Rain a nice early. TG with the solo that he's always wanted this game. He's come to Cobra nice as well, taking him out in that last area. The second cap has been commenced. If there's only level 3 sentry, really, 2 solid. And with the NG trying to fight that last, no sir, not happening, 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, this is now going really well for Pogjuice, using that uber advantage from that middle, and also I feel like they kind of caught out Garden Warfare. Maybe they weren't really expecting him to push forward so fast with that uber advantage, considering just how many players had died on that mid. But hey, you know, they got it, they pushed forward, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And coming into this mid, Cobra's actually got a less health than Frydog. Frydog getting some mad stickies across. Big double bomb out of both of the soldiers on Garden Warfare. They're onto the med, they clean him up nice and early. This is the aggression that they've been needing this whole time. Undrex taken down, TG going down. Frydog's the only player left, but we've seen him double pipe these previous. Oh, he takes out the medic with some of the fattest stripes.
The control point is being captured.
You know, in that situation, you're sitting there, you've got your 2 scouts, you're the medic, you're feeling invincible. It's just one demo man. You know your scouts have the edge. You know, they're really good. They've been playing so solidly, even all this game. Then Frydog just comes out of nowhere. 1-2, your life is over. You now have uber disadvantage holding this middle, and what looked like a roundup for you with some really good initial aggression to just turn around any bad mentality is now just looking awful.
Yeah, definitely something for the psychological warfare books. I mean, that was such a big pair of pipes out of him.
Goodness, not the only big pair Frydog has for sure, but Jesus, I mean, this man has been doing quite a lot of work on this map. I think Ghost said it, I said it beforehand. The granary pick is definitely a Frydog pick, I mean, and he is showing it for sure.
Yeah, with full Uber here, we do see that his team Pogjuice are pushing into this middle. Ravu and TG getting pretty aggressive again, but they don't see any real opportunity to use the Uber. I think they're happy to just take this second. Cake taking out one of the soldiers in Gary there. I think he was going for a hide play, but it wasn't quite enough. And with that one player ad and still a little bit of Uber ad, It looks like Pogjuice are pretty keen to push this, going straight through around to the lunchbox side. They're actually pushing straight through Z. Cake going through. A soldier Uber through speed, please, baby. It's been years. Ubers have come out. The Uber on Garden Warfare forced in that yard area. We do see a really, really big Uber out of Pogjuice, taking out 3-4 players. Rainer going down right on the tail end there. Frydog coming through with the frag. Cake with a... minied him inside a second. And it's going to be last, right?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are not cooling down. Spawn camp on the door, stickies down. And that's the type of rat play that I really want to see out of Pogjuice there, you know? But, I mean, even that beautiful rat play couldn't have been pulled off without just some crazy plays by individual players, getting the soldier really early, you know, Eli going down to Cake, and then, well, I'm assuming that's, well, fake knickers anyway. So, yeah, going down to Cake really early, and then just super good Uber with the fat air shot onto the scout, so yeah.
Yeah, huge. Frydog actually starting off this mid fairly well. He does get a bow. Untitled is onto him nice and early, taking him out. Cobra taking out Cake as well, and Cobra taking out the other scout. This is looking so good for Garden Warfare. There is Lizard Wizard on their mid, but he gets cleaned up in short notice. Smazza. This is the mid that they wanted to see.
Definitely. They changed their target then from the medic, from taking down Ravage to taking down Frydog instead, which, you know, went a lot better for them just getting them out of the way really early, which is something you can, in fact, do on Granary. Pulling that off and winning the mid as well is really good, but if they don't get the mid here, moonshot from Cake onto Smazza, just as he did try to go in and get the medic, try to give them an easy last push, but no, this looks like it's going to last for quite a while, you know, since they did keep their middle alive at the end of that middle.
Definitely going to be a tall order of a push, and they did lose one of their soldiers in that upper area as well, which is looking like it might actually bully them straight out of the second. They have maintained yard, but we actually see Lizard going through the drop down. So dangerous. He's around behind Undrex. Undrex doesn't know. Lizard gets 2-3 rockets off with the wall midi to take him out. This is so bad for Pogjuice. They actually lose one of their gamers. The sniper and Smap are taking him out. The Ubers have been used on both sides. It's looking pretty shite, both ends. But, yeah, I mean, I got no words for this. This is just the best collapse I think I've ever seen out of Pogjuice.
Absolutely incredible bomb for that soldier at the perfect timing, caught them right as they were trying to get through that choke there. And, you know, but unfortunately they do lose Ravu there, so they're not going to have a fat Uber advantage. But from last with even Ubers onto middle, I mean, that's got to feel pretty good for them.
Yeah, man, for sure. Instead, taking out your mid is not what you want to see if you're Pogjuice. It actually looks like Garden Warfare are very keen to push this with the huge heal ad here. Not something you see pushed super often. They end up taking out Cake, but they haven't really cleaned up any other gamers here. Do know that they have around about a 30% advantage though. And I think they're very, very keen to push. I actually see that Garden Warfare is using crits, so...
Very large critical advantage here, going up to 80% only onto Rav's 50%. They're going to use this maybe very soon into them. If they can get the right playoff here, then they can easily pick this last.
I mean, if you're going to do it, Yard's the place you want to do it, but they have lost so many gamers, including their demo man. This is not really what they want to see. They end up using the crits on the scout. It's just not looking good for them. It's all falling apart, and they've wiped.
This is going to be crushing for them. It is good to see they are playing really aggressively. A lot of times when you do get these rounds down, the team's mental starts going all over the place. You stop making the really aggressive good plays and just start mucking around, playing too passively, conceding a lot of ground as you give too much respect to the enemy gamers. But no, they are still trying their play, so their mental must be feeling pretty decent around now. You know, losing that aggressive play there and, you know, with full Uber disad, this is a potential last push, and, you know, that's going to feel pretty crushing for them.
Absolutely, we do actually see Smaz putting in the work from the forward spawn sniper, taking out two players through the use of a careful hedge. We do see that they push into Gary, which I think may have been a mistake with a big Uber disad, and we do see the Uber come out of Pogjuice. They clean up 3 games, sorry, 4 now. See, I'm not a liar after all. And turn it around in their favour. And Smaz just not able to do very much on Sniper. They're getting pushed on his own yard.
Yeah, really good effort from Smazza holding off that push, but yeah, again, that they really got ahead there. Once they got those 2 players down, they were probably looking for a force, looking for some frags, while they had that player advantage, even without the Uber, but you know, that just allowed them to get collapsed upon Barrage, and now it's looking like another last push.
It is looking like a last push, which was nearly thrown. Undrex almost able to clean pretty much the entire Pogjuice team there. But it just wasn't quite enough. So that is 4-0 to Pogjuice.
Yeah, this is looking quite dominant here, hopefully not too far off my 3-1 scoreline. If Garden Warfare gets around here, I can still keep a little bit of self-respect, but, at the moment, we'll see how this mid goes.
Absolutely. Cobra going down fairly early. Frydog getting a fat sticky onto him, but Frydog himself is down fairly low. He's only just gotten a bow. We do see a pretty aggressive play. Both soldiers coming in, cleaning up the med and cleaning up Frydog, with Schmazza coming in on the tail end. Cake is on train and not quite able to connect the final rocket. TG able to come around and not quite get him. The scouts were there. They were able to frag him. And we actually see, okay, Smaz is capping that middle point. Cope is really deep, getting stickies on the last door.
Wow, on 50
is he going to do
HP
it?
as well.
Is he going to do it?
He does it!
Frydog with the sticky trap on the spawn. And they're able to cap this second. Do you think this is the round?
I definitely think this is a round, They were hearing me talking, they said, we'll give him some self-respect and we'll take this round just for Luggnuts. And now they're pushing on the left side, taking down Central Gun early. It really looks like they're going to be able to get this.
Absolutely, they got a lot of damage onto the heavy nice and early. Frydog really only just respawning, but coming up right at the tail end of the fight. His team didn't play the point though, too scared of the players in their last. There you have it, mate. You don't have to go home with your tail between your legs.
Exactly, I can still retain the position as, best caster in ozfortress by a long mile. But as for now, Snazzy, of course, you're the second best, don't worry about it, man. So yeah, going into this middle, 3 minutes left, 2 minutes 30 left, do you think any team's going to do anything differently, or how are they going to play this?
I mean, at this point, I think they probably want to play this still pretty aggressive. We do see Bomb coming out, Undrex cleaning up gamers left, right, and center. The frags are fairly even, though. They have cleaned up the medic and one of the scouts. This is definitely a spot where they want to be, but they have lost pretty much everyone in short order directly afterwards. I think it's interesting watching Garden Warfare sort of react to the way this game has gone for them. We can see that they're definitely trying to play more aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it actually worked out really well for them. Just not quite the right map for them to utilize their scouts, but I think playing aggressively did work there to delay things quite a while. I think without that kind of aggressive play, they wouldn't have lasted 15 minutes on the first round. The only thing maybe I'd like to have seen out of Pogjuice for this last round here is maybe, going a bit more aggressive on the mid. They almost lost it all when their mid died really early there. One of the things that I typically prefer to see teams doing here is play a little bit safe, make sure their medic dies, and operate like that.
We do actually see that Ravu's come up on crits here, so that's a crits play out of both teams. We'll have to see if it goes any better for Pogjuice here. They are in a good spot. They are able to use through on their demo man from Eric. The crits comes out. They clean up Reyna. First, the Frydog, mate, you got to be feeling good. We do see Instinct coming in for a pretty big bomb. Not quite able to connect his rockets, but his scout comes straight on through and cleans up the medic. It's a good play. It's a good play, making the best of a bad situation. Undrex and Z there, getting some bad rockets. Oh my lord!
I was going to say,
cleaning up Monty.
If there's any player I want to see from Garden Warfare sitting behind, ready to deny a push, it is Undrex, and by God did he do a good job. But taking down 2 players and completely stopping what would have been the last push there, I assume.
Yeah,
and it's going to allow Garden Warfare to equalise.
Oh god. With 40 seconds, it's definitely the play that you want to make there, because you're able to turn this around in your direction. Bit of scrappy fighting going on, but it's coming out in favour of Garden Warfare. TG coming behind, getting cleaned up. Lizard behind as well. He's not really able to do very much. He's trying to get up into that lunchbox area, but I think he's going down as well, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. With 15 seconds left, I highly doubt this is going to be able to get to last. There's just going to be a little bit of stat padding here. Maybe over this mid, going to see maybe a lot of feeding going on. But yeah, it's pretty much over.
For sure, man. A huge map out of Pogjuice, really able to turn that around. That 15-minute, sort of poke at each other and figure out where the weaknesses are, and I think Pogjuice figured it out just a little bit better than the Garden Warfare did. But I am the play-by-play. You guys are the brains of the operation. I'm going to hand off to you so you can tell me about these stats and tell me about that map.
I already have the logs open. This, it looks like 4-1. Pogjuice, they stomped on Garden Warfare pretty cleanly. But you look at everyone's stats, like kill-wise, it's pretty even across the board. Like, one thing to point out is Frydog may have got 28 kills. That is the most on the server. But Cobra did a lot of damage. Well, 333 damage all up. So a little bit more than Frydog. Yeah, just obviously, less kills. Another thing I do want to point out, something I noticed, is Smazza I think he's the only person on Garden Warfare to do 20 plus kills. So he's on 24. He played alright, but unfortunately, just I guess the collapse and team play just wasn't there, and especially Granary being, I guess, a surprise pick, and probably they did expect, but obviously probably didn't really see it, I guess. But yeah, Granary, you know, Pogjuice had really good collapse in those pushes, and I guess both of you obviously noticed that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
something,
Sorry,
you go.
continue.
You go.
Right. I was just thinking that Smads and Cobra actually only wants to go positive on the side of Garden Warfare. But I mean, one thing that you can look at quite readily is the amount of deaths both on Ravu and Reyna. Ravu only died 9 times, whereas Reyna died 17 times. And that
It was
really...
a scrappy game, though. You have to keep in mind.
Definitely,
Yeah, very scrappy. But one thing I do want to point out is Reyna nearly took as much damage as Ano, who was their flank scout, and that's concerning to me. Like, I'm not saying Reyna's bad, but it's concerning to me that why is Reyna taking 147 damage taken, while Ano's taken 150? So that is pretty scary. There has to be. You have to look at it, and I guess the team, like after a loss like that, just to regroup, refocus, and focus on this map. Don't worry about Granary, but still, Reyna taking 147 damage is a concern to me, and I think they need a fix because some of the positioning that Reyna was doing on that map, she was the most furthest person in the trades. Actually, it's something I noticed. I'm not sure if you saw that. Luggnuts and Snazzy, I believe, is in dinner. Yeah, Luggnuts. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but Reyna was so far forward, like she was a scout or demo.
Yeah, no, definitely noticed, getting forward quite that heavily, and that doesn't really work out too well against a team like Pogjuice, where their cleanups are so efficient, and I mean, a lot of this could be Ravu getting out sort of post-fights or, Reyna not, but one of the things that you could just see here is maybe both Bedicks were just dying basically every fight, but just more fights went the way of Pogjuice.
I think as one of the points, you have to say, Frydog hit some really good pipes and definitely changed the tide of certain mids and also pushes to last for Garden Warfare. Just unfortunate, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those really difficult things because you don't know too much how much something has affected the game being won or if something's an effect of the game being won, Like, Ravu got 4 more Uber charges than Reyna did, but you don't really know too much if that's part of the reason why they won or if that's more a symptom of them rolling so heavily. Yeah. I mean, like you said, a lot of their players, Frydog especially, coming out really high, 28 frags,
Yeah. It's the most as well on the server.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just top fragging on the server, that's got to really give them a pretty big boost. But, how much of that especially was not so much entry frags going into a fight that allows you to take a fight, but more sort of in the fight or near the end of the fight, just allowing the fight to go just better for them, And in that
Another thing as well, I just want to point out is Rekna obviously is the map that Garden Warfare, so definitely they should be more comfortable. One thing as well, Cobra was definitely quite out of position a lot in Granary. It's something I also noticed. He took 286 damage, which I don't know if that for demo wise is a lot. Is I guess a less amount. Frydog only took 261, so Cobra took the most damage on the server, and I think he was eating a fair bit of spam at certain points.
Yeah. Given the amount of heals he got, maybe it's not, too out of the way for him to receive a lot of damage. But definitely you wonder how much that contributed maybe to his high damage numbers without the same level of kills as Frydog. Maybe he was just peaking that spam quite a lot more. Getting pretty decent damage in the stalemates, but maybe not having the same level of impact Frydog was having in the fights.
Something else I want to point out is the mids as well. They actually did well. Garden Warfare won 4 mid on this thing, actually, on Granary. Pogjuice only won 2. So I guess that's all right. That's a victory, I guess, in Garden Warfare books. You won 4 mids, so congrats.
Yeah,
so the biggest problem I guess surprising.
Yeah, definitely really surprising. They not often do you see a team, get rolled down but win the majority of the mids,
Yeah, I mean, so they were doing all right. It's just, I guess, the collapse and certain team play just wasn't there. But another thing as well, Garden Warfare, it looks like they're trying to do some sort of double scout combo while both soldiers are on sort of flank. I think they're trying to use their scouts saying, hey, better damage, or not damage, better DM capabilities than TG and Monty. So I think they're trying to utilize that, give them more of a beam, which I think is not as shown well in the hills, with Cobra obviously taking 30% and Smazza taking 28%, but definitely Smazza copping a lot of that beam to go for these Ubers or just, go and kill.
Yeah, I think that perhaps quite a lot of that's more the style that they maybe want to play going forward with their strong players, which are their two scouts, with Cobra supporting. But just the map kind of forces them to redistribute heals a bit and doesn't really allow them to play as effectively as they want. I'm expecting Reckoner to go a lot better for them if they keep trying to play that exact same style, because as we saw Smazza doing quite well on the logs afterwards, and we just saw him in the game consistently playing really well in post-fight, start-fight, sort of all the time, even on those off classes. So maybe a map that better suits the scout gameplay, like Recon or even Process after this, will just support their gameplay much better.
And I think in order to go on with, need to obviously pick up Reckoner. You lose Reckoner, you're out of the game. But if they can at least pick up Reckoner, force that process, I think that would be a close game. I think it would be close on the last map. It would be messy, yes. I think it would be messy as Granny, not going to lie.
Yeah, I definitely think Process would be the closest map for these two teams. I am favouring Garden Warfare here, going on to Reckoner. I just think that they picked the map for a reason. Their players did do very well in the last map, so yeah, my prediction's probably team advantage for
we are going into the game. Is Snazzy here to cast?
I certainly am,
there
Ghost.
We go.
I wish to thank you very strongly for your analysis there. It's saving me some effort and making me not look like an idiot because I don't have to talk out of my ass. Coming into the first round of Rec, we see fairly aggressive play out of Pogjuice here, taking that red crate nice and early and really forcing the players back into cargo. They're able to really make that work for them, with Instinct coming out from under, just caught out by one of the scouts. Otherwise it would have been such a fat bomb. It's a really convincing lead going the way of Pogjuice.
Yeah, losing Smaz and Cobra, and that's just got to be crushing, since those are, as we've seen after the last map, two of the star players that they will be relying on going into this map. Just maybe an interesting idea of the mid play. Pogjuice did go for the kind of right side play. Meanwhile, Garden Warfare decided to sort of stick on their own side, not really play too mobile, which doesn't suit them too well considering the fact that their scouts, with their fast classes, are sort of what they want to put forward here.
Yeah, man, for sure. But with keeping their medic up there, it's definitely not a lost cause. We've seen them turn it around from this sort of position on Granary. I don't know, man. There's pretty wide doors straight through lobby, though, so I'm interested to see if Wizard wants to try for a bomb. He actually is coming through the choky top left side. He ends up getting fragged pretty quickly by Smazza to meet him. And we see his team just backing up. They don't want to really lose any other players for nothing.
Not the worst idea of a bomb location, because they did get quite a lot of damage on that top left. But yeah, just unfortunate Smaz was just sitting there ready and waiting for it. And now have lost Cake as well, as he went to try to get the frag onto Undrix. They're pulling out of there. No one happens to go then for Pogjuice.
Yeah, we actually see both Ubers get traded, TG with another fat solo. I think this might just be, like I was talking about earlier, one of those ones where they use the Ubers, get the even trade, and then they reset. But Frydog got a little bit too close and does get fragged. Mob going down as well. We see Instinct around behind and clean up Ravu. Instinct with another frag, taking out Wizard and Cobra, piping TG right across the point. It's a really good push. Really good push.
Yeah, definitely. Again, this is another one of Pogjuice's trades where they're a player down and they kind of don't want to give up the ground, so they go for the trade. But that hasn't really worked out for them too well, either on this map or Granary. Like I said, I'd like to see them keep it to Uber trade when you have the player advantage, pull out when you don't. But at the moment now, with so much work being done by all the players on Garden Warfare, maybe they can get more space off this with their Uber advantage.
I do see a bit of a trade going on, but being down two players on the side of Garden Warfare here, and then being caught in that toxic area, losing your med, it's not a spot where they're going to be. Cobra actually cleaning up both the scouts, and then going down, doing a bit of Frydog himself. Undrex behind, onto the med, cleaning him up. His scout there to meet him with the scattergun at the ready. cleaning up right. This is actually really, really good for Garden Warfare. And taking down Cake very low there as he tried to come in will stop him from being able to block the second.
Yeah, I mean, not seeing too much crazy pushes coming out of Garden Warfare, but just their individual players are doing so much work, you know? Their behind play, just cleaning up on the medic there, just works so well for them. Gonna, unfortunately, not have them with Uber and pushing into this, but hey, it went a lot better than it could have if their medic had gotten out.
Yeah. And I think knowing that it's really not that big of an ad, and they're not going to really be able to do very much with it, they've learned from their previous mistakes on the last map, and they've committed to an up-class nice and early. Smaz are coming up on Sniper, getting a bit of a pick through.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see them utilize things like that Sniper, especially on a map like Reckoner, which is pretty decent for it, given that Smaz can play the fast role. I'd actually like to see Smaz come up on Spy for this, you know? He was a Highlander Spy main, so a little bit of Spy game.
squared action.
Yeah.
You know, I love to see the Spy play. We do actually see
do.
Smazza taking out TG with a fat shot. TG, not a super important class right now. He's the only scout, but definitely not a major thing. But then Smazza takes out Frydog as well. There's going to trigger the push. We see Cake very close. Cobra takes him down nice and early. Lizard was going from the flank. Cobra taking out the medic with no Uber. Oh my god, it's the last push of the gods.
I mean, that was disgusting. The scout frag, and the demo frag, and the medic drop, you know, with the soldier pickups along the way. You know, just really solid push from Garden Warfare, not dropping any angles. Only thing left at the end was the sentry gun, which just couldn't swing the point for them, so...
Yeah, Pogjuice must be smart enough for that sort of spanking, man. That absolute paddling that they just received. They have taken that right side nice and early again, taking that red crate. Very, very aggressive, cleaning up Cobra nice and early. Undrex with the biggest midi I've ever seen, taking out the med, though. And we'll have to see if they want to re-enter with the heal ad. I don't think they do. At the moment, they're just backing up. They don't want to lose the med for no reason right here.
God, some players playing for the medals, Undrex playing for the frag movies. That was disgusting. Unfortunately, like, they still don't win the middle because they're sort of just playing their side. I would like to see them play a bit more dynamic, maybe try and go around the right side for the middle, because they're just getting boxed in that sort of area on their side in front of Cargo and Toxic, and it's just really going badly for them. Without that huge shot onto the medic, you know, this mid would have just been disastrous for them.
Absolutely. We do see Undrex go down fairly early, which is gimping their push a little bit. Cobra, Smazza, and his med coming straight on through. They end up using Cobra very, very deep, nice and early. Big damage coming through onto Ravu. It does look like he's going to be able to get away. Maybe not. Smazza actually getting very, very deep, getting that med down very, very low. He's chasing that under area, but he's not quite able to connect. And we do see TG come behind in the meantime, clean up the medic on, which team is which again? That's Garden Warfare.
Highly confusing since they swap teams, you know. Gotta start asking people not to do that, you know. My brain can't handle it. But we actually saw behind play from Pogjuice during that Uber exchange. It didn't go too well. Unfortunately, Monty running into Kai, getting two-shot. But yeah, now that they have the Uber advantage, because they did just get the medic out there with Frydog, you know, saving at the last second, it's going to be looking really good for them, because now they have Smazza down and a full Uber push into middle.
Yeah, it's looking very, very clean for them. They're taking this ground. Really no contest at the moment. But with TG getting very aggressive again, we know that he's keen on these big solos. He ends up using straight through Cargo. He does clean up Undrex. He's onto the med nice and early, not quite able to connect all of the shots that he needed to be able to clean that one up. There is a scout delaying that Uber from being able to push, and Cake went in kind of deep. He wasn't really able to connect very much either, because just everyone was there waiting for him.
Actually, pretty big fan of that trade there. They almost got the medic, you know? Even though it was a bit of an extent to do it, and they did have to lose a player, they still do have the advantage of having Smazza dead. And, you know, this is the last where you really have to... There's really quite a lot of ways to go through. There is left side, right side, and, you know, underneath. So if they don't clear this quite properly, Pogjuice could actually slip some players behind, which looks like there's what they're trying to do with Montgomery Wigglesworth sitting underneath.
Yeah, he's definitely been a bit of a sneaky bugger. We did see that Smazzer actually checked for off classes, but the team has come through underneath Cobra, cleaning up Monty nice and early. The Ubers are actually even once again. Cobra in nice and deep. This is not looking great for Garden Warfare here. They're kind of caught here. They're Uber fading, and they're really running to get back. Lizard Wizard going down up at the top area as well. Underx really the only one with his med there. TG and Ravu in nice and deep. They still have this second point. If they're able to clean up Reyna here, they're going to be able to cap this pass more or less for free. Oh, Instant coming in with a big bomb, but not quite able to connect everything he needed to, except on himself. And that is 1-0.
Yeah, definitely really good fight there from Pogjuice, you know. With that last push, unfortunately, again, that soldier not being able to succeed there. But no, that was a really good... The fact that they managed to get that Uber there, they knew that they had enough time to grind, delay it. With Monty holding under, they got really early call on it, were able to get the pop on as they went under. But unfortunately, going to this mid, again, we're not seeing any changes of the mid plan from Garden Warfare.
Yeah, they did clean up TG nice and early, and going off that, they were able to clean up three, Frydog, Lizard, and Cake all going down roughly at exactly the same time. They did lose their med on that mid, though, and that's got a smart man. They've got that big ad on the side of Pogjuice here, and it looks like they're actually getting pretty keen to push this back on in with the heal ad.
Yeah, Garden Warfare, I feel, really needs to change these mid-fights. They're really not going their way. Even that one, which they won, they did lose the mid, which means, you know, Pogjuice will just be able to walk back and retake the mid-fight. And, you know, now they're looking forward to a Uber ad push onto second. Just looking disastrous for Garden Warfare.
Yeah, we'll have to see if this is another big old solo onto Theodore Gaming. He is pretty ready to go straight on through. It is another big solo. He's in deep. Reyna does not have yet, only on 50%. But PG got pretty knocked back there, and both the soldiers in on the last. They're able to get that point very, very, very capped. Reyna there with the rest of her team, able to kind of defend it for a moment, but Reyna going down, not really what you want to see. It'll be up to Smazzer to see if he can connect a couple shots here. His spawns are coming through. Kai!
What? Oh my goodness! What?
Oh my god!
What just happened?
They just, like, the point was so capped, and he stepped off for, like, literally millisecond. It was nothing that he wasn't on the cap for.
Oh my goodness.
The mid coming through. What the fuck was that? The plan has changed. We do see the team swapping sides. Reyna taking a big shot. Bit of a surf, able to survive. PG going down as he came in for a bit of a frag. Lizard actually able to connect the last rocket required. Frydog, the only player left alive, he goes down. So, it's, they traded their med for the mid. I'm still just wigged out from that last, man.
My goodness, I thought as soon as those spawns popped up and the scout was still in full HP, I thought, yeah, no, this point's not going to go through. He's survived just enough time, and then bam, that happened. But no, with the mid-fight, I mean, that's exactly what I wanted to see. They changed up the mid-fight, even though they did lose the mid. It is even medics, so they will pick up the mid-fight. They've got to feel pretty good about that, especially getting momentum back on their side.
Yeah, unfortunately they got pushed with that heal ad. They lost one of their soldiers, Underx going down on that second point when they had it half capped. But look, like you said, it's even Stevens more or less. Underx spawning shortly, but they're pretty well stacked over on that cargo side, and I can smell a push coming through.
Pretty good sense of smell there, Snazzy. Unfortunately for Garden Warfare, they didn't have the cap gods on their side to pull out some crazy bullshit, and you know, just had to leave the cap at halfway done. But at the end of the day, that was kind of a bonus move anyway. Both medics died on the mid. It was something that they probably weren't expecting to get picked up there. So yeah, at this stage, it's just pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I think I smelt wrong with my Whoppin' Honker though. They actually tried to push through lower, and they got a soldier just landed on them nice and early. But it has actually gone fairly well for them. Reyna, I believe, used in the middle of that, got forced by the soldiers, and nothing really they could do. They had to back out because they lost 3 players on the middle point there. We do actually see Lizard Wizard in nice and deep behind. Kai able to frag him. TG's there as well though. TG taking out the demo man. Kai very, very low. TG, if he's able to connect a couple of shots here. Monty's in behind as well. This is looking so clean for them. If they can hit a shot or two, gotten the med. Kai the only one alive. He's going in deep, trying to clean up Ravu4, who is on his lonesome, but the other scouts are there and just able to frag him.
Undrix, possibly getting spawn camped a little bit there, doesn't seem too happy about that. But that was a really, really solid push from them. Keeping Reyna sort of in this shutter area, unable to sort of pull back out of there, is just going to be absolutely devastating. And, something like this is just going to really be crushing for Garden Warfare, because they did pull out relatively easily. They did lose that medal, even though they changed their plan, and now they're on their last again with pretty much full Uber disad. Honestly, this is going to really hurt for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to apologise. It's not actually Kai, it's Aina, who does go down on heavy there after fragging PG. This is looking pretty good for the Pogjuice. Sorry, the Garden Warfare fellas. This colour change is really doing me dirty. But they were able to get all their spawns together, and they were able to defend that last by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, colour change plus the fake nicking has really got us acting fried over here, but I mean, yeah, as it currently is, you're right, they did hang on by the skin of their teeth despite that fully disad, just postpone this a little bit longer. Half the time has gone by, they've now exchanged soldiers, even over advantage for Garden Warfare. How do you think the event will be holding up at this stage?
I mean, they definitely have to be feeling the pressure, and you can actually see them not super keen to take this fight. I know they have big disad, but I feel like could have held them out just a little bit longer on that mid. But we actually see them backing out nice and early, trying to avoid getting caught here. The Uber comes through from that toxic area. Cobra getting stuck on the little hut on second there. It's a bit of a flood Uber. Smash getting in nice and deep, but I don't think he's going to be able to achieve very much. They have caught Cake and Blizzard Wizard behind, though. We're just going to have to see if that's going to trigger a counter here. It doesn't look like it does actually look like it will be. Frido getting a big Uber nice and early. PG going down very, very low. He ends up dying to the med in the middle of the Uber. It's not what you want. Frido having a backup. We do see Ino behind. So is Undrix. Undrix is ready. He's on that last point. He's just getting that cap. He knows what he's doing. He's able to get some big rockets, and the rest of his team come in to clean up to turn this into a 2-2 game.
Really back and forward round that was, I mean, mid-win from Garden Warfare, turning into holding their last with Uber disad, surviving that, rolling it all the way through their last during an Uber exchange. I mean, that's got to feel really good for them. We'll see if now they can turn it back around with the even scoreline.
Yeah, and we do actually see Warfare taking a more aggressive stance on this mid as well. They were definitely more collected on that cargo side. Came in for a big bomb. He ends up getting middied and not really achieving very much. But in between that, we do see Lizard Wizard taking out two players, Ano and one of the other soldiers. There's players going down all over the shop. It's looking like a really good mid for the Pogjuice players.
Unfortunately, they don't manage to pick up Reyna. She does get out of there really early. But what they do manage to do is, they will have that Uber advantage because she will be cut off from healing the rest of her team. So, that's going to feel really good for them. They will be able to push this with the Uber advantage.
Yeah, definitely a spot that they want to be in, especially having just lost that round. There's still 13 minutes on the clock, so they can afford to play this a little bit slow, but they've used straight on through that main area. They're able to stop the sentry from being built before it's even started. Cobra going down, Undrix going down. This is looking really good for them, and they've turned it back into their advantage with a one-round ad.
Yeah, they've been keeping their medic alive a lot better on the mid, but I mean, they still lost their entire team there. These mids just aren't really swinging their way too well. Their phase play has been really decent. Their holds and pushes are being really competent at the moment. So we'll see if they can keep that up and maybe equalize again.
Yeah, definitely. Coming into this mid, though, we do see both teams have sort of taken a more defensive sort of view, I think. We do see Liz Wizard and Cobra taking out a gamer each. Frydog taking out a gamer each. Cobra finishing off Frydog, though. Cobra coming back in with his med here. They're able to come through that lower area. Spazza getting some big damage. Cleaning up gamers left, right, and center. Taking out Cake and his mid. Right there, Lizard Wizard in for a fat bomb. Getting fragged back. That's good mid for Gun Warfare here.
Yeah, definitely. Smazza activated those premium spy hacks, got all the meat shops that he ever wanted, and now they're going to be able to cleanse up with a full Uber advantage, pushing into second. Cobra already there setting up stickies. I mean, yeah, that mid definitely went just so much better for them, and if they can keep that up going into the future mids, then maybe they've just really got a chance of swinging this completely back around.
Yeah, It's a genuinely interesting game, and with this sort of like huge Uber ad, the sentry is coming up pretty quickly though. Monty moving forward. I believe it's level 2. Is it level 3? It's level
3.
No, it's full level 3. My eye is not ready for that one. The sentry is up, but the Uber has come through. They haven't really focused very much on Frydog getting a big front, cleaning up both the Demo Man and one of the soldiers. It's one sticky trap. It's so fat. Undrak's about to go down in lobby. Losing 3 really push that. Not what I want to see.
Definitely not. I mean, especially when you're a round down, you've just crushed the mid that-handedly, then you're going in with your fully brand last push. But Monty was really quick to react, getting up a full level 3 sentry gun for that push, and then they just kind of let 2 players outside of beam range onto the combo and lost them both to Frydog, which is really spelled disaster for that last push.
Yeah, man. But we do see that they have a bit of a back going. I know, actually, on that second point, it looks like he's going to be able to clean up this cap. He's going straight into last. I think he's going to be able to get this. No spawns coming up. Oh my god, no spawns coming up. He's turning it back to a 3 game.
Here we go, the Greg Gaming from INO, absolutely swinging things back to the way of Garden Warfare, hashtag moment there. And yeah, that's going to feel super good for them. After that distressing last push, they just managed to slip that plan behind, take care of Pogjuice server extending and get it.
Yeah, and definitely lining up those spawns perfectly for themselves. We do see the standard aggressive mid out of both teams here. Frydog taking a bit of damage nice and early, nothing really able to be pushed. Lizard Wizard is nice and deep onto Instinct though, cleaning him up with that 1-player ad. We'll have to see if Lizard's able to get in behind with this big bomb he's coming through with. Cleaning up Smaz up Cakes nice and deep as well. The coordinated aggression from their team. We do see Ravu down very low. Undrak's taking him out. That is going to be preventing that really easy push. And Cobra's the only one alive. He's trying to get out. I think he's going to make it. Yeah, gee.
Escape from him. Seemingly opposite of the last map, what we're seeing this time is Ravu dying quite handily on these mids, and in these situations where the Pogjuice has such the heavy advantage in players and positioning, getting really easy cleanups on the enemy team, they're still losing their medic, which is equalizing things for Garden Warfare and maybe making this holds much easier for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a little bit of an ad for Pogjuice here. It's not super huge. Ravu's actually on crits. That's why they have this big ad. I was just watching him build so quickly.
Yeah, and I wonder if he's unlocked some new build in tech where you maybe have 2 scouts building and use arrows on 1, but no. He is running the crits Krieg, and they are moving forward with Frydog, who has had such success before on the last map.
Yeah, and we see the crits ready to come on out. The crit stick comes through, cleans up 2 players, the med and 1 of the scout. They've cleaned up 4 players with the crit. 1 player left alive. Smaz is the only one ready to fight. He's going to go, not before he cleans up Theodore game. It's 4-3 to Pogjuice.
Yeah, Smaz and Cobra did a really good job of trying to defend that. With that absolutely destructive crits from Frydog, I mean, there's not much they can do. 1 sticky taking down both the combo players and just cleaning up all the rest of them. Absolutely fucking disgusting, but yeah, going into this now, new mid, we'll see how they manage to handle it.
Definitely one of the grossest crits I think I've ever seen. Frydog on this going down fairly low, but Lizard Wizard coming through the other team's toxic area, getting a lot of damage on with some coordinated aggression from his team here. They're able to take some ground, but they are losing players right and center. Frydog and his med going down very early. It's only the scouts left. They managed to clean up 1 scout, and Monty goes down to Cobra, and that's the mid, baby.
Bit scrappy, did lose quite a lot of people, but I mean, at the end of the day, they've got a cap, they've got a medic still up. It's going to be feeling really good for Garden Warfare here, and yeah, they will be maybe able to equalize this if they do succeed this last push, although they haven't had the greatest amount of success last time they were in this position.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I needed to go to confession today and really sort myself out though, because I feel like God is punishing me with a golden cap game coming at me.
Yeah, full golden cap. You were right, you were just on the wrong map. There we go.
They look so similar. There's crates on the middle. With this big ad though. Yeah, we're looking ready to push straight through that top area. We do actually see that it is Uber this time. Had to check to be careful. But they're losing ad pretty rapidly. They actually come through the main area with Scout and they're able to clean up this sentry gun and not much else. You do actually see Undrex getting some spam in from that top left area. Not much going on. Players going down, Undrex going down. We do see that they've taken a bit of control here, but I don't think they're going to be able to make this a tenable push into the last with the Uber coming through on the side of Pogjuice.
Take your time.
Oh,
no, same here.
And yeah, they're going to be able to defend that and take the second.
Yeah, again, not a really coordinated last push there. They took a really long time to do it, and then they just sort of didn't really have quite a lot of direction going into them, which is going to look pretty disastrous since last time this happened, unless they get a back cap through, this is going to just maybe spell another round up for... Or unless they didn't actually get the medic in that push into middle there, and they did have to force out that Uber for Pogjuice, so now it's just going to leapfrog back to Uber on the side of Garden Warfare.
Yeah, it does look like Garden Warfare having this big Uber out. Look pretty keen to push straight through cargo. I don't know. They're happy to just wipe out all the players on second. Smaz are taking a big Uber, but they have lost 3 players right at the start of that Uber. The big push coming out of Garden Warfare. Sorry, Pogjuice. As they drop 3. Stop! As they drop 3 players on the other team's side. Lizard in for a pretty big deep sack, but he does end up going down.
It's actually not going to be too terrible for either team at the end of that. I mean, that could have gone super disastrously for either of them, but it is going to look like Pogjuice will maybe have to give up this mid, given that there are some players down, with just a few spawning right now. So yeah, but even Uber's looking like since better building on the side of Ravi.
Yeah, but despite that better building, we're seeing some really good 2v1 action coming out of the Garden Warfare boys. They're able to clean up a few gamers there and get that second point more or less for free. They do have a tiny bit of an ad here. I'm not sure if they know about it, but they are in pretty deep on the getting a bit of damage off, taking control of that right side, holding them in spawn. The Uber has come out. It's looking pretty bad for them though, because the Uber has just come out on the other side. Abu using his now. Looks like Reyna's going to go down. Very unfortunate, and losing the rest of their gamers there. We just see Ino and Eli, which is Instinct, I believe, getting on out. And Ino went for a bit of a frag, but not quite able to get onto the maid before he got fragged.
Yeah, I think Garden Warfare actually thought they had advantage there, since they did manage to kill Ravu later on. I don't know, Reyna was up before him. Smazza with that headshot onto Ravu is going to completely bluff this push though. But yeah, I think for the last push, they thought they had ad. They were going to go through, take with the advantage, but you know, just Ravu had really good building there and managed to equalize it.
Yeah, and losing your whole team in that fight, not really a spot you want to be in if you're Pogjuice. It looks like this might actually turn around. Holy shit!
Wait, what?
Coming up on Super, getting a frack onto Cobra.
Oh my god! Listen to the meme spin onto Undrex as well. Oh my god, they pulled out all the stops for this game. Clearly pulling out those next generation Team Fortress 2 strategies. This is the stuff your grandkids will be using in the year 2077. Back when they're playing Team Fortress 2. This is disgusting. What is going on here, Snazzy?
Oh my god, dude. But look, I don't know if it's gonna make a huge difference because Ravu did die right in that push, which means they have around about a 70% ad. They do have Smazzer on Sniper, which is kind of upsetting for them sniping with ad now. But if Smazzer can connect a shot, this is definitely the intro that they need, but it looks like too impatient to deal with. They have used Uber through on the right side, cleaned up the sentry gun, and they're getting some frags. Dog's down very, very low, not quite going down yet though. Cobra kicking out the medic. Monty on the point, but they've just lost too many gamers. Smazzer and his med really and getting out. Smazzer with a big snipe on the cake. Can he do it again?
Headshot.
Listen, come on, next up.
Wait with bated breath. And he gets the body shot! The snazzy, not the snazzy shot, you can't snipe. The sassy shot, that's it, onto him as he tries to bomb forward. But honestly, at this stage, if you're Pogjuice, you probably won't be feeling too scared, since Garden Warfare has just lost a lot of Uber advantage pushes into your last. You know, at this stage, with the Smazzer frag onto Monty before the Sentry Gun gets up to full, that is the best chance that they will have of this push.
It's definitely a good chance for them to. Yeah, they do still have Smack on Sniper, which is going to gimp their abilities a little bit. But it looks like they're taking that right side. Still pretty impatient, ready to push on that right side. They have taken out the Sentry nice and early. There is 1 minute 50 left on the clock. They're at this point. It's down very low. They got them Uber.
No!
Oh my god, it's so gross. But I think they're going to be able to take it anyway. A bit of a snipe from Smazzer, cleaning up Lizard Wizard mid-air. That's going to make it a 4-4 game. Is it possible to cap this map in minute 40?
Oh yeah, I definitely think it is. However, at this stage, looking at how the mids have been shaping up, we're looking at maybe a Garden Warfare win on the mid, and then being unable to push that last point because they just have not had that much luck on it. So at this stage, I'm predicting Golden Cam.
God, no. We do see the mid starting off with some pretty solid aggression out of the Pogjuice boys, taking out Rainer nice and early. Frydog with some big frag, taking out a Scout and the Demo Man with, I think, 1 point, which is pretty gross. And that's a wipe.
Pogjuice making a fool of me, just making sure that they win that mid so solidly. Now they have a much better chance of cleaning this up quickly in this last push. With now just under a minute remaining, if they do cap up the second, go into last really quickly here, then they will have, really decent time getting this before Rainer gets Uber.
Yeah, we did see Frydog get really deep, trying to get some stickies onto that door nice and early before any of the teams spawned. He did get some on there, but he didn't really manage to get anything with it. There is a level 2 Sentry Gun. They're coming through the right side. We see that they're ready with Suba. Theodore Gaming only just Cuba after they killed the Sentry. Wow, they got beat. Nano on heavy, not really able to connect very many shots, nothing to get too close to him. And that is it. That is 5-4 with 20 seconds remaining. I'm happy to call Pogjuice take Reckoner.
Here's how Garden Warfare could still win. No, yeah, I mean, that's wrapping it up, yeah.
Man, what a game! That was absolutely fantastic. I'm going to let you and Ghost take it away. Tell me about these stats, tell me about this map, and then I'm not sure if we're doing interviews, but we'll get them going.
I assume we are, but anyway, vlogs are open. First thing that comes to mind is Garden Warfare definitely better performance on Reckoner compared to Granary. Obviously, they felt more comfortable. Unfortunately, they got the loss. You can't change it, but yeah, they should be happy with themselves. I mean, look, 5-4 scoreline, it was scrappy, but they put up a fight, you have to say. And one thing to point out is Smazzer going 35, dropping 35 kills and only dying 16 times, and also Cobra stepping up from Granary, going 30 for 18 with 10,000 damage. Definitely big step ups from Granary, you must say.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Smazzer and Cobra just showing their skill even better on this map than they were before. I think better what I was saying on Granary is that the same players are having the high levels of impact on the side of Garden Warfare. Just a map that better suits them allows them to have just much better impact than they would on something previously like Granary.
Yeah, and then another thing I want to point out is Garden Warfare actually played alright. Considering the loss, like look at Reina, died 12 times, but had less damage compared to Ravu, who took 167, but he died more. Obviously to Reina. And another thing as well, TG 32 frags. Yeah, definitely the solo scout Ubers work, and again, keep getting Mujabin with 20% heal, so it definitely paid off. But another thing as well, Frydog's crits were really good. Like they actually did a lot of stuff for the team, and they're obviously making them able to push into some lasts. But yeah, overall, you just have to say close game. I can't add anything else, but yeah, congrats to obviously Pogjuice for making the grand final. But and yeah, Garden Warfare, they shouldn't be angry. They should be really happy with themselves and how they performed tonight.
Definitely. I mean, we can see just how close that match is. Look at the mids and look at the kills. Both teams getting exactly 110 kills, despite a slight damage lead for Garden Warfare. Really even mid-fights won on both teams. I mean, this just was an insanely close game with a lot of players popping off really hard. Just at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest weakness for Garden Warfare there was their early mids, and later on just the last pushes. Those two things just really tripped them up, which is not something you typically expect too much from a team's own map pick. That's something you more expect from the maps that they're less familiar with, that might have been picked by the other team. But again, I feel like both teams would be pretty happy with the bans that they had coming into this game.
really comfortable. I mean, both teams should be happy it happened, and obviously the Benson, picks coming in. But yeah, guys, it's a good job to Pogjuice for obviously making grand final. And speaking of gamers, we do have Pogjuice members sitting, and also more members waiting for interviews in the Ravu TG by looks of things, and we could I'm not sure if we're getting more, but anyway, first things first, congratulations to Pogjuice for making the grand final of, season 29, and you'll be doing a rematch against Artix Entertainment. So, yeah, how do you guys feel of this win today?
Hot.
It was good, man.
Let's go!
Before we go too much further, Frydog, can I suck your dick, bro? Those are some fucked up pipes, dude. That was crazy.
Oh man, I don't know. I wasn't feeling it today.
You
Before,
meant, yeah.
but we got into the zone during the official, and I was fucking man. That was
It was
great.
Friday before the game was like, I can't even hit the side of a barn, and then he goes and just frags everyone in Granary. Insane.
Yes,
Just gross. Just gross.
Do you have a direct measurement for how nervous someone is compared to, how hack-like their gameplay becomes? Because for sure, Prodog switched something on mid-rounds in Granary there.
It's fuck. I got in the zone, bro. Legit, that was it. I haven't been feeling it this past 2 weeks, but I got there for the official. That's what's important.
That's what matters.
Some questions for both teams. So first of all, map picks and bans. How do you guys feel with the result of the veto from obviously used for their bans and picks, and both for Gun and Warfare for their bans and picks?
We from the side of Pogjuice, we perfectly predicted their bans, but Reckoner was kind of out of left field, honestly. Like, we haven't played it in a while.
Not even since the last official.
Yeah, maybe that was part of the picking strategy, but like, it was interesting that you guys picked it, and I'm kind of glad. It's been a while since we played Reckoner, and
I did notice on
fun,
logs
good
as well. You guys played it, previously it looks like scrims. I think I saw on logs you guys played a fair few times. But that was against some high intermerc team, which I believe every time you lost, but it was a scrim anyway, regardless. Obviously, I think recently you've just been playing maybe like your Sunshine, Granary, not really, Process and etc. is something I've noticed in the logs.
Yeah, we were kind of expecting Process and Sunshine this week, so we're kind of
That's what we
grinding it.
scrimmed.
Yeah.
And then for the side of Gun and Warfare, how do you guys feel with your picks and bans? going
They
into
just
this?
had better maps. Like, they were just better at more maps than us, and like, we weren't really scrimming much anyway.
And you guys must be happy as well. Obviously coming with no practice and
Oh,
able to
yeah.
make Rekna a very close game. Unfortunately, Granary was, it is what it is. But Rekna, very close game, and Smazza obviously dropping 35 kills, so definitely good work from him.
Yeah, man, that sniper, holy shit. We like on our
Talk
toes.
about yourself, man.
Not as good as Ravi sniper, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
Get some
fine.
shade level shit.
Cool to dim.
Stupid. It worked though.
One thing as well is I noticed on Granary as well, so going back to the first map, is Garden Warfare just looked, obviously Pogjuice, you guys looked really comfortable, but in Garden Warfare they looked really, we're just hearing just one, I'm assuming you've only played it in week 1 matches, plus maybe 2 or 3 scrims before that, but otherwise after that it's just whatever maps for that season. And then Juice, you guys looked really comfortable, so talk about, I guess, Granary, like, you guys definitely
I
look
wanna
like a
talk
home
about
map for you
Granary.
guys. Of you guys.
Nah, we thought ever since week 1 when we owned on Granary that it's probably going to be a good map for us, so we just decided to try it. There's no huge logic behind it. We just decided to play Granary. We knew they hadn't played it, so
Did you guys look at our logs?
no.
Because we just before the game we just got 5-0 in a map, and we
Did
tied
you?
Oh,
against Artix on Reckoner.
That's why we
No,
thought.
we
we
didn't.
were scrimming, so we didn't even see.
Yeah.
Like we
The
picked before
last
we.
time
yeah.
I think I checked your logs, all I saw was like you guys versus a Highlander team. And I thought,
Yeah, there was
well,
some bugs.
there's no point in me checking this ever again.
We didn't scrim
might
since
just,
that last official.
chime in with a couple of questions myself. With Granary, and I know you guys don't want to hear any more about Granary, but we're going, how long was it? It was about 17 minutes before the first round even went. Was the pressure really on after that first round went?
Yeah, I think it was, especially after that second round as well, when it was like, I don't know, maybe 8 minutes left in the game. And then we were kind of like taking a lot of risky fights, I'd say, to try to get an advantage and get the points.
It did look like that. What we noticed was you guys took more risk, and it became really as well, a lot of killing. But yeah, obviously, unfortunately, turned out away. But then Rekna, did you guys find Rekna a lot more scrappier actually to Granary? Is I want to know because it looked really buggy like.
Well, again, we haven't really played that much Reckoner. We thought it'd be fine, but we played maybe a couple scrims and then the official, so we really haven't played it that much, so it's just sort of, we know somewhat what to do, but we were making a lot of mistakes that if we just knew the map better probably wouldn't have happened.
That toxic from one of the soldiers that jumped from toxic at mid, like just won the whole
Yeah,
game
that
for
was
them.
Blizzard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was really good.
Also, I want to point out that there was a horrific thunderstorm going on during that entire game, so me and probably Instinct couldn't hear a fucking thing.
Very unfortunate.
Language.
We heard inside like the thunder through his mic. So.
Yeah,
I have some noise cancelling headphones, mate.
I have a proper like good mic, but you could still hear it. It was that loud. Just one of them was so loud it like deafened me.
So it's the old El Nino effect, really taking the
Act
game.
of God.
Speaking of acts of God, without pounding it up your ass too much, TV, some pretty fat solo Ubers. Was that like part of the plan for you guys? Were you like sort of going any opportunity where we have like an even spot where we could trade in and then like out just grind like crazy to build an ad? Was that like part of the idea, or was it just like you see the opportunity, you take it?
Yeah, we actually noticed a bit that we were hearing their Uber calls way after we thought they would have Uber. So we kind of concluded that they were not grinding insanely well. So we thought, oh, if we trade it, then we can like grind back up. Maybe we can win the fight after by just doing a dot push.
That's
and it worked
something we
a few times.
noticed actually. The side of Garden Warfare is that you guys actually, when you were disad, you guys had ad magically, just because you guys grinding Garden Warfare, there wasn't much grinding, I guess, happening on their side. But yeah. But then again, I guess like who knows? They just have to constantly back out, so just couldn't have time to grind. But yeah, definitely well played by you guys. I guess taking advantage of it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and also when we were 2 cats up, especially, I was happy to take more trades because that's just more time wasted for them if we trade and nothing happens. But if we win the trade, like we just put more and more pressure on them. Like every trade is more pressure on them because we're up. So that on Granary at least, it's a bit different than Reckoner.
It's definitely some really good games to watch. Lug, do you have any questions in particular? That's about all I've got.
Yeah, I think I have just kind of a main question for Smaz and Frydog, which is that how much meth do you have to take before the games to pull logs like that?
No, it's not meth, bro. Come on, it's cocaine. Do a couple of
Yeah,
lines.
yeah, of course.
Credit card, sniff up the $5 bill. You're good to go.
Capping Television does not condone drug usage.
I just want
I
to quickly
think-
add one more thing as well. There's obviously Garden Warfare. Unfortunately, not able to take it to the grand final. But are you guys satisfied with this season's results and getting a third place finish in first season of Intel?
Yeah, just as long as Is Highlander didn't get anything.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, man.
Yeah,
Gotta do me like that, huh?
I'm sorry.
We actually thought you guys were gonna lose after that first map last week.
Thanks, man. That
I
means
have
a
to
lot.
change my pants.
Feel pretty good about vouching for Pogjuice in this match, Feeling bad about it before, but now Smaz has sealed the deal. Alright.
If it makes you feel any better, I wanted you guys to beat the Highlander team because I like playing sixes. Whatever the hell that game they play is.
There's no elitism in this channel, mate.
Fuck Highlander.
Alright, I think that'll about wrap it up. Let's head down the list. Let's do some shout outs. Cobra, you're at the top. What do you have? Keep it short.
Shout out to all the Minecraft homies. Shout out to Fat Pizza. Shout out to Instinct, and shout out to my team and the enemy team we versed today. You guys played very well. And the casters and Jazz.
Champion. Alright, Frido, what's sizzling in your brain for shout outs other than your logs, mate?
Okay. Shout out to Jerry, my boy. Get well soon, bro. Shout out to the Highlander team I just joined, Spilt Milk. Please cast us. We're gonna farm. Shout out to Average Joes. Average Joes, my boy. Always in there on my Twitch chat. Help me out. Check out his Twitch channel, Average Joes. He plays Minecraft. He's pretty beast. Yeah, okay, that's
Beautiful stuff. Ghost, don't ghost me, man. What do you got?
Shout out to both teams for playing. Shout out to Garnemore for letting me sub for them for a season. I just don't touch the fucking game at all. No, shout out for them for letting me play, and Raina as well, messaging me when needed. Shout out to VCU, Snazzy for casting, Luggnuts and Jazz. Obviously Jazz for producing. Shout out to both teams for competing, and shout out to Cookie. Shout out to Praise Hand emoji, Harry, Praise Hand emoji, Clap Taylor, Gadge, Immature Llama, Cookie, Key, Cookie, Love Heart, Schlat, Dud, Soda Strike, and Cowabugger, Bunga.
Cowabugger, my
Jesus,
favorite.
okay.
Jazz, is your microphone unmuted? Do you want to hop on the call train and tell me about what you got to shout out?
Shoutouts to Luggnuts, Snazzy, and Ghost for being with me tonight on this cast. It's been a lot of fun. Shoutouts to everybody who's been on a CappingTV cast this season. It's been a lot of fun. Shoutouts both Garden Warfare and Pogjuice. It's been a fun game tonight. It's been a fun games across the season, and it's been very, very entertaining this season. Otherwise, shoutouts Burnt Toast Gaming, shoutouts everybody who's ever played for Bruh Moment, shoutouts Intellectual Powerhouse, and then shoutouts to my girlfriend and my dad. And that's it.
Just
Hell
quickly,
yeah,
shout out to Miramu.
You had your fucking turn.
Yeah, got.
Alright, Luggnuts, loosen up, baby. What you got for me?
Right, well, I'll give a shout out to the intellectual powerhouses. I know the Uncle Wang, Spartan, Crud, and Looney. You've been watching this one. Shout out to the Burnt Toast Gaming lads. Got their Highlander on Friday. Let's get another round down. Shout out to CappingTV for having me on the cast. Thanks to Ghost, Jazz, and Snazzy for the co-cast and production. And shout out to both teams for a really good game. Pogjuice with that fat win, and thanks to them all season as well for helping out the Highlander team and making the dream a reality.
Juicy stuff. I can't think of any good puns to go with your name. What have you got?
Shoutouts to
actually,
the enemy
rev
team.
it up. Rev it up, Ravu. There you go. That'll do.
Got him.
Alright, shoutouts to the enemy team for giving us a good game. Shoutouts to CappingTV because 8 times this season already. Shoutouts to Ginger Cat Meow. Shoutouts to Undrex for having a stare down with me on last. And shoutouts to Cobra for being an easy time.
Okay.
Spazza, could you smash that shout out button? What do you got for me?
Yes. Shout out to Ascension and the chemistry class boys, and my team, and their team, and the casters, and most importantly, Rena's amazing Minecraft YouTube channel.
Juicy stuff. I'll leave myself to last. So, TG, do you have anything to, I don't know, just shout out?
Shout out to the Adelaide Power Grid for not failing me during the storm today. Would have been really disappointed if I couldn't play. Shout out to the Panda Boys, KO, Sarah, Fez, Pav, all the boys, Instinct, and the other team. Shout out to my team for putting up with me, because I know they hate it. And that's it.
Good stuff. Undrex, you got anything under there, mate?
Yeah, man. I'd like to shout out the Bumble Beehive boys. I'd like to shout out Ghost for being our personal analyzer. I'd like to shout out both teams for playing tonight. And yeah, shout out for Jazz for covering this the whole season.
Juicy stuff. And I'll keep it short, sharp, and wholesome. Shout out to Luggnuts and Ghost for casting with me. Shout out, as always, to Jazz for his fantastic production. Shout out to the viewers. Thanks for tuning in, gamers. And shout out to the teams in this one. Not only was it a really good game to watch, but you guys join Mumble and you're cheering each other on the whole time. It's actually refreshing. It's really good to see.
Just vibing.
Yeah,
That's what we like on stream, but till the end.
We'll see about that. Before we cut off, I might just plug next week. Tomorrow. Fuck. We're doing the main and the open semi-finals at 8 PM on this channel and CPTV2. So be sure to tune on in. It'll be some fat games as per usual for the caliber of Team Fortress in the Australian region. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you have a bloody good evening now, and I think we'll probably cut it off.